And
God, we got a break.
we are live now. Oh boy. Oh, how should we start this? Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Well, I'll give you the honor of starting.
Okay, I guess I'm getting the honor of starting chapter 3. Okay, it was a long drive, but the Swift family hit. Oh wait, didn't we already read this? But we might as well reread it because, God forbid, it's been a couple weeks. It was a
Yeah.
long drive, but the Swift family had finally arrived at their new home. A nearly $1 million priced lakefront house in a suburb of Nashville, Tennessee. After having left their old home in Pennsylvania, Scott and Andrea Swift, the parents, unloaded their U-Haul. Their oldest child and only daughter, Taylor, a 14-year-old blonde, stepped out of the family SUV and surveyed her new home. Scott, a banker, had just made the largest gamble of his life. He had invested everything on furthering his young teenage daughter's musical career. Neither of them would know it then, but Taylor would go on to become bigger than the Beatles. That's huge, considering that John Lennon once said that his band was more popular than Jesus Christ himself. Just that whole paragraph, the the way it's written, it's like as if he knows exactly what's going on, as if he's right there. What the fuck? Hold on, I gotta pull up the stream so I can get a link to it and send it to my friend Richie because he wants to watch it. I'm gonna pull it up on my side on YouTube on my other monitor so I can monitor the chat as we're doing this. But I gotta get the link real quick. Give me a second. I'm boomering things already. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm not having technical issues. I'm boomering things already. Oh, actually, no. I should have turned the volume off on my phone. That was good. That was good. Copied the link, sending it to my friend Richie and my friend LB. And then after this, we're gonna move on over to YouTube and we're gonna watch, or we're gonna play some Minecraft on Twitch. To get away from this. So that's gonna be fun. I'm just sharing the link with as many people as possible. Gotta text this to LB as well. Alright. So, it is your turn, sir.
Taylor Swift could do no wrong at being album
Okay.
after album, song after song, produced hit after hit, while her music always charted at the top of the charts and broke records and garnered all kinds of awards. One thing never stuck: her love life. It seemed that Taylor was photographed with a new male friend. Swift went through so many relationships that she began to be the butt of running jokes. When you're famous like her, you get to play in the field and be picky. Then in 2014, Swift began a serious relationship with music DJ Calvin Harris. Gossip magazine and the news followed their every move. Seemed like Calvin was destined to be Mr. Taylor Swift. Unsurprisingly, in 2016, their relationship ended after 15 months, according to some accounts. their relationship crash and burn.
So hold up. Do you see an issue with this statement?
Yeah. I think there's an issue with every single one of his statements.
I mean, it seemed that she has a new male friend weekly. Yet her longest relationship supposedly was with Calvin Harris. And it lasted for over a year. Kind of contradicts the weekly thing, doesn't it? And he could have just put DJ like the letters. He didn't have to put that.
Greer we're talking about.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong about any of this. Anyways, the latest issue of People's Magazine's cover displayed it all on the rack of the grocery store checkout stand. I stared at the cover of the magazine in awe. It had been 2 years since I began my quest of wooing Taylor Swift. A lot had happened in my life since that night I was inspired to reach out to Taylor. I graduated from college and did 2 internships, more like internshits, as a paralegal. One at the city courthouse where I helped with divorces. The others was at the Attorney General's office. 2 months after graduating with my paralegal degree, I was offered a job in an intellectual property law firm. I was excited to work in a law firm because I would finally have enough money to produce the song about Taylor Swift. Before this law firm had offered me a job, I had spent months interviewing at different firms while working 2 part-time jobs and had been rejected because lawyers feared my disability hindered my ability to do the job. Job discrimination is real, and it stings like a bee.
I don't think it's your disability. I think
It wasn't so much as job discrimination. I mean, if you're working as a lawyer or a paralegal, would you want to work at a firm, or would you want a paralegal to constantly talk like this so it's very hard to understand what I'm saying? Cause I'm Russell Greer and I don't know how to suck a stick. So I stick like I have a horrible sense into it. I mean, really?
yeah.
I think it exactly will hinder the job, his ability to do the job.
Yeah, I don't think it's just for disability either. I would not take in a man crazy enough to think they had a chance with fucking Taylor Swift.
You're not wrong about that either. I wouldn't take him on either. Oh, I forgot to mention, he does these amazing photo credits.
Yeah.
Photo credit, Russell Greer, graduating college. So apparently that's him in the photo, taking the photo.
How exactly did he make it so it looks like he's standing and sitting at the same time?
He's doing the gangster lean, and it's because of the 2 different floorings.
Anyway.
And there's a chair behind him, too, so.
Right before the job offer, I had started a GoFundMe and only raised $150 out of my goal of $2,000. It was a letdown because I produced a video for the fundraiser and put so much effort into raising money with my financial goal not met. It was up to me to raise that money. Surprisingly, once I made efforts public of wanting to woo Taylor Swift, I was met with hate and scoffing. Internet trolls would message me or leave comments on my pages telling me, "You're too ugly for Taylor." Other messages would say, why are you so special to want her attention?" The worst messages consisted of suggestions that I should give up and kill yourself. Even if some of my friends laughed at the idea of me getting her attention, those messages hurt me so much. They were random and unprovoked, but they invigorated me and emboldened me to get this song to Taylor. It wasn't just the song I wanted Taylor to have. It was my story of trying to discover myself and trying to raise above my disability. I knew, based on her past publicity stunts, that she would like my song and be inspired by my story. There was never a doubt in my mind that this wouldn't work out because I relied on her representation, that all I had to do was stand out and she would help me.
Photo of yours truly on the next page. Too big of a stud to fit in this small blank space. Taylor Swift reference. God, I want to die.
He had a whole fucking page there, but no. That's not good.
He was trying to be funny.
Yeah. He even writes like he's 4 years old.
Want me to read it in his voice?
Oh, please.
Taylor Swift, let's rock out together. Please visit our Kickstarter and help kickstart our dream. Hashtag Swifty. Warren Taylor. Hashtag Taylor Swift. Mid-November of 2015 seemingly blew a hole in my dreams, though. The manager of my law firm called me into her office and fired me. I'm pleased with my focus on Taylor Swift. I was crushed. Well, no shit! She would fire you. If you're spending more time trying to woo Taylor Swift over doing your actual job where you're being paid to work, I wouldn't be surprised if you got fired. I had worked so hard for that job and for my education, and I was let go after being on the job for only a month. It was right before the holidays too, and I was forced to work in janitorial all over again, as no firms were hiring. I went home the night I was fired and looked at a picture of Taylor on my phone. Oh, that caught me off guard. And began to cry. Taylor, I said tearfully. I am so sorry if you never hear our efforts and sorry. I didn't think I would have enough money to produce music and live. Just on the paycheck of a janitor. Oh, there's so much wrong. But I'm just wondering if he had like a bunch of pictures at his desk of Taylor Swift and a bunch of like her CDs on his desk.
Oh, most definitely.
And stuff like that. Then his boss just sees like, we know you're trying to write a song for her. This seems a bit excessive. We gotta let you go. You're not doing your job to the best of your ability. That's what I'm thinking went down.
Yeah. As I mopped the floors of the places I worked at, new music and words began to flow through my head as I worked. I really read up on the title of The Life of Taylor Swift and read how she had to do her last year of high school at home to devotees. I compared my hardships to Taylor's hardships. I truly understood her. I get you, Taylor, I said as I cleaned the toilet. Thinking about her struggles, the song revolved around how I Get You, which was the title of the song. I would scrub and work as the song came together in my mind, to be clever, I would use the title of
I'm sorry, I was.
some of her songs in my lyrics to show that I was actually a fan and not some random guy.
So, how would you feel if someone was trying to make a song for you and most of the lyrics were song titles?
I feel like that'd just be really lazy.
Yeah, I would have tried to at least come up with some clever lyrics. A quick yet steady pop rock beat formed in my head as the piano and guitars played the melody and rhythm of the song. Can't imagine being 15 as I worked and waiting for Romeo on that white horse, making you believe it was a love story. Customers and coworkers must have thought I was crazy when they saw me air guitaring with my mom. I just imagine him flailing like he did in the audition video. But I didn't care. I had found the thing that would win Taylor Swift over. Each night when I got done with work, I would hurry home and play the music in my head, out on my electronic keyboard, and then I would compose the music on a music notation software program. It was a long, tedious, difficult process that took a lot of time and concentration, but I imagined how happy Taylor would be when she heard it. I could imagine the kisses and the hugs and the laughs that her and I would share with each other. But this is totally not a date, Baracuda. Hashtag not a date. I would be the best guy she had ever met. To boot, I would have an inspiring story about not letting my disability or bully stop me. Totally.
I can already tell that music is completely written. Just fucking looking at it. It's just a bunch of, or full notes. That's what there.
1 second. God, people on Twitter are so fucking stupid.
Twitter, it's essentially made for them.
So, this guy, so this person, because of what we were talking about yesterday, because first of all, Monica alleged that there was a witness to the situation that happened back in 2007. He wrote a sworn affidavit saying nothing happened the way she claimed it did because she showed no signs of distress. She didn't talk about it. And if he saw what she alleged or knew about what she alleged, he would never have invited Vic back to the convention after the alleged assault. Kind of destroys her. Kind of destroys her credibility in that allegation. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
But God, these people. Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but I'm just... So, this is a interesting thing. This isn't actually terribly written composition, but this is extremely basic. I don't know if you know how to read music or not.
I used to it, but I don't really.
Yeah, so basically, he's writing the most basic thing you can think of. And the chord progressions would follow the most basic 4-chord progressions that you would hear in any pop song like Katy Perry or something. It's basically 4 chords in a random chord progression all around.
Anyway, whose turn is it?
It is your turn. At the start, the cashier said to me,
Sure, the cashier said to me, awaking me from my flashback of how I created the song. May I ring up your item? Yeah, I sheepishly respond, placing my items on the checkout stand. Sorry about that, as the cashier rang up my items. I studied the magazine. I can't fucking talk today. I studied the magazine announcing Swift's breakup. I knew right then and there my time to make my move and pronounce my written song. I was gainfully employed with an insurance company, so I could afford to record the song. Though I was unsure as to where I would produce my song and who would produce it. I never have home recording equipment because it never made sense with my disability, nor was my living situation large enough to accommodate that. All I had was an electric piano and my music notation software.
oh boy. Scrolling through the Google search results of Utah music studios, I contacted each studio that fit what I was looking for. A studio that had session musicians and singers, but when I explained what my project was and who it was about and for, I was either ignored or laughed at. Some owners quoted prices higher than what they listed because of what my project was. Obviously, this isn't going to work out, I said to myself, as I began to stress out. As a side note, when I get stressed, I talk to myself. I didn't have much time as I thought she would get with a new boyfriend soon, and I wanted to have a chance at her while she was single. But this is totally not a date. Hashtag not a date, everyone.
I gotta be right back real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time reading this last bit.
Okay. It might be a minute, so...
No worries. A stroke of inspiration then hit me. What if I hire somebody outside of Utah for at least an hour? I searched through ads of small music producers. Each ad proclaimed We're the best. Or good quality for good demos. Alright, how y'all doing? And I'm sorry. Oh, shit. I gotta pull something up real quick. From last night. I'm sorry if the snipping tool or something, because people on Twitter think they know. Time to school someone.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So, 2 people don't know how to read a fucking affidavit. I'm about to school them.
Okay, where am I?
We're on And Soon Caught My Eye.
An ad who caught my eye. Internationally famously cheap. The ad was for a music studio called Songcat Studios. The website was beautifully designed, which featured pictures of the studio based in New York. The prices for demo production were inexpensive. On the upper right hand side of the screen was a section that contained their reviews. Songcat excellent, great job. I now have an offer from a major record label, thanks to Songcat. A Mary in India wrote. Should I keep going, or?
Yeah, down to, wait, you said I now have...
Yeah, I read that part.
You read I now have an offer?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll go from there. Give me a second. Okay. 5 stars. And if I had 4 thumbs, I would give them a 4 thumbs up. Gary wrote enthusiastically. I was hooked. Hold on. Let me pull up YouTube again. Because I had looked over on Twitter and I just had to show some clowns. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I listened to their demo samples, and they sounded okay. They weren't the best, but time was of the essence. I didn't have time to be picky. For all I knew, Calvin Harris could come crawling back to Taylor. I could not let that happen. Hashtag this is not a date, everyone. This is totally not a date, Baracuda.
Not at all.
Despite him saying he could not let Calvin Harris go crawling back to her. All of the other ads I had listened to didn't yield any good demo samples. I soon contacted Chris, the producer for the studio, and before I knew it, a PayPal transaction had been made. I gave Songcat the sheet music, a rough MP3 of what the sheet music sounded like, a rough recording of me playing and singing the song. Oh, I wish I could get a hold of that rough recording of him singing. Okay. So where was I? On my piano and type production notes. On the production notes, I instructed the producer to add flavor to the song. I was the happiest I had ever been in my life. My dreams were about to come true. Oh boy.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I can imagine Taylor sitting next to me in the backseat of an upper-class limo as we both listened to the song I had produced. A mini disco ball spun above us in my imagination. It looked over and saw Taylor crying. I pulled out my hanky and wiped her tears. Oh, Russell, Taylor cried. This is the sweetest thing a guy has done for me. Well, I imagined I was too embarrassed to say anything, as I was sitting next to the most famous person in the world. And I imagined Taylor looked up at me with a seductive look. She bit her bottom lip as she leaned towards me.
You know what I want to do, Russ? Taylor Swift whispered to me. I stuttered, trying to be cool. My degree isn't in mind reading, Taylor, I said bashfully. I can certainly guess. Let's have, Taylor began. My heart stopped. Ice cream. She finished her sentence with a devilish smile. My heart picked up on its regular beat again. I regained my manliness and cleared my throat. Rufus, I loudly called. Oh. Rufus! I loudly called out to the limo driver in a hoarse voice. Take us to your nearest cold stone.
Brawly.
What?
This is his imagination. You don't need to do that for
I know, but it...
In his imagination, he's actually a normal person.
It's still him talking, even though it's his imagination. So I'm still obligated to do the voice.
Okay.
Yes, sir, the elderly limo driver said in a British... Yes, sir, the elderly limo driver said in a British accent, as he accelerated the limo into hyperdrive, recreating the Star Wars warp speed scene.
What the fuck? I am fucking brain dead.
This is too good, man. This is too good. It's your turn, Baracuda.
Yes, everything seemed to be on the right track to winning Taylor over. I was so anxious for the song to finish production. I would check my email 10 times a day to see if the song had been delivered to my inbox. I thought of all the famous actors, singers, models, and guys who were only famous because their grandfathers or relatives were famous. Cough, Eastwood, sure. And to my knowledge, none of them had gone to the lengths I had gone to stand out. I'm pretty sure you were born to stand out.
I mean, you were born to look like something to hit you in the face, and your lip is permanently frozen in a position because of it. Because you got damaged nerves or missing nerves because of it.
They only used their celebrity status to get near Taylor. There was nothing appealing or real about those relationships. Sure, for all I knew, they were great guys, but they did nothing extraordinary like I had done. They probably just did their best Joey from Friends, how you doing impression. And since they were A-listeners or B-listeners, Taylor fell head over heels for them.
You still got a little bit left in this paragraph.
That's what separated me from them. I had confidence and sincerity of my song and effort, and my story would win Taylor over.
Then the notification came. I quickly jumped up and literally did a front flip over my bed. I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that. Massive bullshit. And then logged onto my computer. Was he trying to be like Hacker Man? Trying to do a flip over the bed? That's what I feel is happening right now.
Yeah.
Excitedly, I opened my inbox, and there the email was, with the subject line reading, Taylor Swift song. The butterflies were going crazy in my stomach, trying to get out. With a nervous hand, I guided my cursor to open the MP3 attachment, and then the song began. My ears were burning with anticipation. The song played. After a minute and 30 seconds, the song ended, and I sat in shock. And I don't mean the good kind of shock. Well, shock isn't necessarily a good thing. You would say I was surprised in a good way, but you wouldn't say I was shocked. I don't mean the good kind of shock, like walking on sunshine shock feeling. I don't think anyone has ever described shock feeling like that. Has anyone ever described that feeling to you, Baracuda?
No, not really. Seeing as I haven't talked that much.
Ugh. What the hell? Oh, I gotta do it. What the hell did I just listen to? I exclaim, that kind of shock. My fingers dialed Chris's number. I paced back and forth, fuming. Russ, Chris greeted. There you go.
Oh, my turn. Really?
Chris, we just did what you wrote.
Yeah.
That's where you're at.
Chris, why the hell, what the hell did I just listen to? I said in my best, polite, angry tone. We just did that, you wrote. Chris replied carefully. No, I stammered with sternness. That was not what I wrote. I even sent you rough audio recordings. That definitely was not what I wrote. I told you to add flavor, and it sounds like flippin' Sesame Street. Wow, somebody's not grateful, Chris said in an annoyed tone. Let me remind you, there are no refunds or redos. We do as is. Thanks, Russ. And then Chris hung up. I stood holding my phone and knew that I had to go relieve my stress, or else I was going to punch a wall.
Where are we at? You said at punch a wall?
Yeah.
Okay. Still upset from the song I spent so hard working on that I paid for, I entered a local downtown coffee joint on that summer evening of 2016. When I get stressed, I eat donuts. I thought you said you talk to yourself, Russ. And this joint had the best donuts in all of town. My favorite donuts, maple bars, sat in the glass display case, seemingly calling my name. As I was about to order, a hand slapped my shoulder. I turned, and there stood a man I had not seen in a long time. Russ Greer. Ken Carter, a scruffy-haired man in his mid-40s, greeted me. Ken was an attorney whom I had worked with when I interned at the Attorney General's office.
Ken, I said with surprise. Oh my gosh, how are you? I'm great. Just got done with my favorite cup of joe and read the paper, Ken said. Are you still at the AG office? I questioned. I questioned. No, I'm in private practice, Ken. Business law. That's where the good money is, Ken said with a wide smile. Ken was one of the greatest guys I've ever met. He was so ethical. Well, I'm happy to hear, I said shortly. Ken could tell I was upset. You look a little down, Ken said frankly. Yeah, I spent a bunch of money making a song about Taylor Swift, I began. Oh, T-Switch is the best, Ken proclaimed. Isn't she? I agreed. But the guy whom I paid to produce this hit kind of sucked. He advertised himself as the greatest. He even did a bunch of the food. Dang, bro, you gotta watch out for them online scams, Ken warned. Can I listen to it?
I'll read from here.
Yeah.
I pulled out my iPhone 6, and we both listened to the song Chris had sent me. Ken nodded his head as he listened to the song. Interesting, Ken said after the song ended. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. No, but it didn't match my vision, and I just spent a bunch of money recording, and we'll have to wait next month to hire somebody else with my paycheck, I explained. I'll read this next one to give you some breathing. If I were you, Ken advised, I would get the song that you paid for, your sheet music, anything else to show the effort you put in, and send it to Taylor. She's such a sweet girl. I'm sure she will understand. Ken was such a stud. He was so influential and wise. Some of my doubt had been lifted from my shoulders after hearing Ken's words. Maybe I was overreacting after all. After all, people had sent Taylor pretty lousy minor stuff. As an example, Taylor had posted pictures on Twitter of subway cards sent to her that had only $15, so she would surely like a song written about her. But it wasn't just the mediocre song I wanted her to have. It was my story of overcoming adversity, my story of wanting to be somebody, of trying to find who Russell Greer was.
Images of Calvin Harris covered in mud and filth, kneeling down in front of Taylor, hands clasped, begging for one more chance, flashed through my mind. Even worse, images of rich 70-year-old billionaire in a fancy helicopter, picking up Taylor and whisking her away in an island somewhere beyond sunset, flashed through my mind. I had to hurry. I wasn't confident in the song, but I was confident in Taylor's quick. The idea came to mind to put the song to a video with pictures of me, just so the fucking story killing me.
I know, man.
Strong when people blind. With determination, I tailored plan words of the word paper away on the video. Unsure if I should do the voiceover or the last video.
Alright. So how did that feel?
God fucking awesome. Anyway, let's go do some Minecraft.
Hell yeah. Alright guys, I appreciate you sticking with us for this short little live stream. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the batshit insanity. And I will see y'all later.
Eat.
Yeet that lettuce.